Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with video. Well, it is December 5th at the time of making this video. A lot of videos have been backlogged because of my busy work schedule. Going to China Star in Ellettsville. I know I've been trying to go there. It's just bills and money and holidays have been piling up, so I apologize to those of you who have wanted to see the China Star video. I don't remember exactly which one off the top of my head. I do have your name screenshotted and is in my phone, ready to give you credit in the video. There's a lot of things keep piling up, and like I keep telling everyone who asks me, I make a backlog of videos, and then I upload them. Some videos I make and then I have to go back in and edit, like my Master Roshi versus Yujiro Hanma video that I've just made. And then some videos I make and I completely forget to post them. So it's a whole situation. You can never really tell canonically when my videos get made or when they'll be up, or when those videos that are made will get uploaded. So I thought I'd just spend the first couple of minutes doing a quick little explanational rant. I'll put a thing in the video description to skip ahead to the 2-minute mark. So, what we are going to be doing today is a simple fix. This. For those of you who don't know, what this is a gasket rubber. And keep the filthy thoughts to yourself. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What this is when you have a rubber gasket that you need to specifically cut to size to match. Say you have a 7 3/4 inch wide rubber gasket and your stores only sell 7-inch or 7.5-inch or 7.25-inch. You could get something like this and cut it to size. What I'm going to be doing with it is a little different. Samurai Byrd did something similar, which is where I got this idea from. So we'll take our gasket, which isn't very thick, by the way. Not very thick at all. And what we're going to be doing is attempting to fix the rattly tsuba. I think I can get in there. Now, ooh. Generally speaking, there's a proper technique to removing these. I do not know it, so I am going to be kind of bastardizing it and smacking. As I said, there's a proper technique to this, but I am doing bastard American style. Or should I say bastardized American? A good thing about the winter sun is, I used to do it, is I could just smack my wrist and this thing would come apart. Now you're probably wondering, Outlaw, why you'd have to take the entire sword apart? Well, what you're trying to get to isn't necessarily the fushira or anything else. It's one of these. This is called a seppa, for those of you who don't know. They're washers that go in between the habaki, the tsuba, and the fuchira and suga core. They're there to keep the habaki fusha, which is this top collar right here, the tsuba, which is the guard, from rubbing up, scratching each other, and generally they act like the habaki, a shock absorber. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your gasket material and you'll put your seppa on top of the gasket material. Now realizing I should probably lower this. Pay no attention to the nodachi. Lower get the thing as low as I can. So once you've placed your tsuba, not your tsuba, your seppa on here, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. The easiest way is just take your Sharpie and trace the inside and outside holes as best you can. When you're done, it should look something similar to this. From there, the process gets simplified. Now, from personal experience, I have found it easier to cut out the inner shape first when doing something like this. And if you press hard enough, you'll actually score lines on the back that you can trace. You get your first hole, then be very careful as you trace. Now obviously you can take a pair of scissors and trim this up, or you can take your knife if it's sharp enough and you're careful enough. You can take and trim the edges to make it look better. And now we simply test the fit up. Now it's important to remember that if you're going to be doing something like this, that the makugi ona, which are the holes in the grip, and the makugi pegs line up. And my dumbass. Oh no, wait. My dumbass didn't do it for once. Did not lose the Makuki pegs. Which is very important, and you should make sure you remember where the hell you put them. So you don't end up like me and more times than not having to remake them. So, we'll just hammer those back in. Just a minute. Like I said, it's very important that you ensure that the holes are lined up. But also, nobody said you couldn't give it a little persuasion. Okay. Right idea. Too thick material. This is an extremely well, the concept works. It's just that this gasket material is a little too thick. So, only one other trick that I can think of. That's going back to ye old duct tape. Ye old duckama tape. So if the old gasket material trick doesn't work for you, and I can't deal with that nodachi in my way anymore, I'm just going to set it there. What you do with the duct tape trick is similar to what you do with the gasket trick. Take a piece of duct tape, fold it, and fold it like so. Now, I will say this, you want to be careful because you can always add layers to this method. You can't really unlayer it. So once you got what you assume to be good layer count. I think that's good enough. You'll have a piece of material such as this. Now, unlike last time, you can't really trace the tsuba with this method. So what you have to do is you have to trace out the inner cut, inner hole, and then just work your way down. Like so. Now, once you have your shape roughly cut out like this, from here it's really just a matter of just trimming it to shape. Ooh. And very important safety tip, don't drop the damn knife. This is turning into a much longer video than I had wanted. But this is two different methods to basically achieve the same result. It's just this one is under half the thickness of the gasket. And this time, hopefully, everything will go together and not fuck up. Alright. So far, so good. with that, still got a little bit of a micro rattle, but it doesn't rattle unless I force it. So with that in mind, my noble band of outlaws, if you're looking for a relatively cheap way to fix a loose tsuba or tighten up a loose tsuba without breaking your bank, you can try the duct tape method, or you can try this gasket method. I will say this, if you're going to do the gasket method, make sure that the space you have between the tsuba right here and the fuchsia right here is large enough to accept that gasket. Otherwise, you're going to run into the same problem I just did. So, until next time, my noble band of outlaws, Outlaw Samurai tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe and use your weapons. I'm a beast, and damn it, this didn't turn into a longer video than I thought it would.